This is my rebounder guide. What I talk about in this video should apply to all rebounders, whether you are a center or a power forward. Before I get started, there are a couple of things I want to mention. First, no matter what anyone may tell you, ping does matter when it comes to rebounding. When there are two same level and equally skilled rebounder, the one with the better ping will always out-rebound the other. This is most noticeable when one is host and the other is not. You might hear some people say ping doesn't matter if you have good box out, if you cow, reverse rebound, etc, etc. That is false. They can still get the ball over you with better ping. Remember, I'm still talking about two rebounders with the same level and skill here. You can still out-rebound the other person with worse ping if you are a higher level or you're just basically better in terms of skill. For the majority of this video, I'll be using a low-level center at level 10. I find that it's easier for someone to learn if they see how it's done at a lower level rather than seeing a level 45 cow everything. If you learn how to play at a low level, that will make it much easier later on. One more thing, if you are watching this video hoping I show you how to rebound every bounces in the game, then you can stop. There's just way too many bounces for me to show you how. The only advice I can give you is play more and learn from experience. That is the only way you will ever learn all the different bounces. Plus bounces change as you level up anyways. Timing and range becomes different. The only way you can see that is by playing. Okay, let's start out with some basics. Everyone should know the best location to stand when rebounding is right underneath the basket. I choose to stand just a little in front of the net so I can get those front bounces and block the other rebound if he or she tries to score. I recommend you stand under the basket with face up because not only does that move auto switch to box out after the ball is in the air, but you can sometimes walk or back into the other rebounder when they have the ball, and if they're not careful and they move during that time, they will drop the ball and you get a turnover. When someone shoots the ball, I have the tendency to lean towards the opposite side of the shooter. That means if I see someone shooting from the left, I kind of move a little to the right, because to me if they miss, the ball will bounce out on the right. This is not always true. There have been many games where the ball will bounce out to the same direction as the shooter, but in my experience, it will tend to bounce out on the opposite direction as the shooter. You should also know that if they shoot from the middle, you can stay in the middle and not move. You can adjust after you see the bounce. If you keep the whole opposite direction bounce thing in mind, you can use it to your advantage. If the other rebounder has the position under the rim, he or she will have to move over a little to get the side bounces. This is where you box them in. If you see a shooter on the right, go ahead and stand to the left of the other rebounder and don't move. If the ball bounces out to the left, the other person can't move because you're in their way. This is where you end up having a better position even though you didn't get the optimum spot under the rim. This tactic becomes less effective as people get higher in levels because when you reach a certain level, you just need to do one tiny step to either direction and you can get the side bounces. Other than rebounding, a rebounder can also be the point guard, if you will, of the team. Since I am not a scoring rebounder, I tend to distribute the ball back to my teammates. What you need to learn is to survey the court in midair after you get a rebound. What I mean is you need to see who is open on your team when you are coming down with the ball. Once you figure this out, immediately hold down the direction to where that person is and pass them the ball as soon as you land. There is usually an open person during the rebound because 90% of the time another person other than the opposition rebounder will also try to jump for the ball. This leaves one of your teammates open. Now, this might not be the case if your teammate is the one also jumping for the ball. This is why if I'm not the main rebounder, I will stay on the ground. Another thing you need to learn is what I like to call passing back. This is when someone on your team does a pump fake, the defender falls for it and jump, then your teammate passes you the ball and runs open. This is where you immediately, and I emphasize that word, immediately pass the ball back to your open person. Do not, I repeat, do not delay to pass back with some stupid pump fake of your own or some stupid back down move that will give time for the other defender to catch up with your open teammate. Another job for you as the rebounder is to limit or completely take out inside scoring. You must make the other team live and die by jump shots. Make it clear to them that there will be no 3-step, no layups, no dunks, and so on. In order for you to do this, you have to do one thing that so many rebounders refuse to accept, and that is leave the spot underneath the rim. You must confront the person going inside to score. You can't do that if you are stuck under the basket and behind the other team's rebounder. So please take notice of anyone coming to the paint to score. rotate towards their direction and get ready to block or alter their shot. I don't recommend you still using face up when confronting the oncoming scorer because they can 3-step or dunk through your face up motion. Just stand in front of them and either block them or make them do a frogger. If you happen to play against a rebounder that likes to run outside and shoot jumpers, once again, please don't camp the basket and go after your man. Don't let them have wide open shots all day because you think they will miss and you get a free rebound. This also applies to screens. If you see the other rebounder going outside to screen your teammate, go out there and help with the coverage. Don't just sit back and watch your teammate take on 2 people. You'll be surprised to see how many blocks you get from people thinking they are free and clear because they got a screen. Not only must you help out on screens, you must also help out if the other team pulled the pass back move I mentioned earlier on your perimeter defender. You know, the where they pump fake, pass, get a pass back, open shot. If you see your teammate falling for this move, quickly run outside and cover the other shooter before they get the pass back. Most of the time, the other shooter will pass the ball away if they see you are coming. This should give your teammate enough time to recover. If they pass the ball inside for the open 2 because you are not there, tough luck. A 2 is better than an open 3 any day. The thing about helping out is to use your best judgment. You should be able to tell if you have enough time or is it worth it to help out. Don't be trying to help out on everything. If you help too much, that just hurts your team because you are constantly leaving one person wide open every single time. For some reason, people think reverse rebounding is this big thing that's extremely hard to do. Well, it's not. It might be a little difficult at first when you grasp the concept, but once you have done it a couple times, it should come naturally. The advantage of reverse rebounding is, other than it looks cool, it also lets you jump towards the basket, so it'll be easier for you to regain the position under the rim after the rebound. Since I reverse rebound so much, I find it weird to do a regular rebound now. That's why I have a harder time rebounding without using box out. What you need to know about reverse rebounding is that it has some of the same mechanics as a regular rebound. Depending on your level, you will still need the same jump timing and range as if you were doing a normal rebound. The only difference is that you do not use a directional button when you press D to rebound. First, look at this regular one. See how I press left and D to rebound? This makes my character jump to the left and grab the ball normally. Now, take a look at the reverse rebound. I let the ball fall normally as I would do a regular rebound. I box out, and instead of using a directional button with D to rebound, I just press D by itself. If you do that, you get a reverse rebound. It's just that simple. The only thing you need to keep in mind is that you need box out to do a reverse rebound. Without box out, you can only do a normal one. I also tend to use tip in a lot with the reverse rebounding concept. It's performed the same way, but instead of pressing D once, you press it twice for tip in. Cow rebounding is very simple. When you reach certain levels, you no longer need to wait for the ball to drop a little before you can grab it. Instead, you can jump and get it right as it hits the rim and is bouncing up. The hardest part about cow rebounding is figuring out what level you can do it at. This is where playing experience come in. My advice is when you reach level 16, go test and see what kind of bounces you can cow, and 5 levels later, test it again. Eventually, you'll figure out which bounces you can cow and which one you have to wait for it to drop. I want to end this guide with some things I would like to clear up. First, there is nothing wrong with using tip-in. In fact, it's good to use it because tip-in has a more priority over a regular rebound. Scoring is scoring. It doesn't matter how you get points on the board, whether it's from a dunk, a jump shot, or a tip-in. So if you ever meet someone that tells you tipping is cheap, just laugh. They're just mad because they couldn't rebound over you. The second thing I want to mention is, for people complaining about chip out, it's part of the game. You need to adjust to it. If you're experiencing chip out, then I bet you are no longer in the rookies channels. It's time to take your game to the next level. Chip out adds another dimension to rebounding by reducing the advantage from the person with the spot under the basket. Since chip out has absolute priority over rebound and tip in, yes, cow chip will beat a cow rebound and cow tip every single time. You now have to ask yourself a few questions. Should I rebound this ball? Is he going to chip it? Should I wait and grab his chip? Or should I just chip it before he does? What if he's waiting for my chip? All chip out does is create an entertaining mind game every time a rebound happens. You should just sit back and enjoy it. And that's it from my Rebounder guy. For more tutorials, please visit my site Khoa.com, and thanks for listening.